breathe stands for respect and consent. We know the feeling of being disrespected is really, really bad. It can make us feel objectified, it can make us feel unsafe, and it can make us value our self-worth. On the other hand, when we feel respected, we feel validated, we feel secure, we feel safe, and we know that people are more likely to be participatory in a learning environment when they feel respected. One of the easiest and best and easiest ways, and one of the most crucial ways to show respect, is to practice consent and to teach teens what consent means. And one of the easiest ways to do that is through role modeling. When we role model consent, we're not just talking about consent in a sexual setting. Think back to when you were a teenager or even a little kid and had to have a permission form signed. Something that says that your parent or guardian gave consent for you to go on a field trip, say. Really, the same kind of thing applies. Consent truly is just permission for something to happen or an agreement to do something with somebody. We know that things as simple as asking somebody if you can have a hug before giving them a hug is a way that you're respecting their bodily autonomy, meaning their control over their own body, and that you're showing respect for them by doing so. Throughout relationships with friends, coworkers, teens, people in our families, really anybody that we encounter, we want to make sure that we're practicing consent and modeling that for the teenagers in our lives. Once again, we can really model that through so many different things, just making sure that we're never ever touching or doing anything to anybody's body that doesn't feel right to them. When we think of our own boundaries, we think about where we want to draw that line. Everybody has a line, consciously or subconsciously, that they don't want to cross, that they know things past that line are going to feel uncomfortable to them. We want to make sure that when we draw those lines, we let people know where our boundaries are so that they don't cross them. We have two jobs as individuals: to make sure that we have our own boundaries in place and that we're respecting the boundaries of other people. This is such a great way to make sure that we are safe ourselves and that our learners are safe as well. Just talking to teens about consent. Have they heard of consent? Where have they heard it used? Is there a TV show, movie, or song that they've heard it talked about in? If they're not using the word consent, what are some other words that perhaps they're using? Is it things like permission? Is it things like agreement? Make sure that teens know that whenever their body is involved with another person's body, consent has to take place between everybody involved. This is just one way that we know teens can show respect for themselves and for others around them.